Okay, now we're going to start the second sugya, the second unit. A couple of words that are going to help us learn. Number one is Tanu Rabbanan. That's one of those key terms that we recently had, and that means the rabbis teach us. And whenever we see Tanu Rabbanan in the Talmud, it means that a Braita is coming up. And we know that a Braita is a text that is similar to a Mishnah. That's why it's called Braita, from the word bar. And it's basically written in Hebrew. The second concept that is going to play an important role in this discussion is the concept of Hidur Mitzvah, which you might remember when we talked about the Arba Minim that we use on Sukkot. The Torah told us, Ulekachtem lachem b'yom harishon, take on the first day pre-eitz hadar. Take a fruit of a tree that is hadar, that is beautiful. And that's one of the sources that teach us that when we do a mitzvah, we shouldn't just do the mitzvah in the minimal way, but we should do the mitzvah in the nicest possible way to enhance the mitzvah, to beautify the mitzvah. So basically, whenever we're doing a mitzvah, we have the opportunity to do a second mitzvah. I can do the mitzvah of tzedakah, but I can do the mitzvah of tzedakah in a beautiful manner, and that way I'm doing two mitzvot. And there are laws, specific laws of how to beautify a mitzvah. Okay, so now we're going to begin the sugya. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from the original text, but you have this text in your sheet. So here it's abbreviated, Tav Resh, Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis teach us. Mitzvot Chanuka, Ner Ish Ubeito. The mitzvah of Chanuka, meaning the obligation of Chanuka, is to ner a candle, Ish Ubeito, each person in his household. What that means is that the mitzvah of Chanuka can be fulfilled by just simply lighting one candle for your whole family. One single candle every night. You might be surprised, but that's the law. The law is that the requirement is just one single candle, ner ish ubeito, one candle for a person and his household. That's enough. Vehamehadrin, and those who want to, this is the word hidur, those who want to beautify the mitzvah, meaning if you want to enhance the mitzvah, then ner lekol echad vechad. Then you should light a candle for each one. For each one what? For each person. Meaning that if in my family there's 4 people, so every night we light 4 candles. And you might be surprised because you don't do that either. Right? We don't light the same amount of candles every night. If there are 4 people, 4 candles every night. 5 people, 5 candles every night. We don't do that. But the Braita is teaching us that not only is that okay, but that's even a step up. That's a hidur mitzvah. Continues the Braita, vehamehadrin mina mehadrin, which means if you want to beautify even more, then we have a debate. Beit Shin, you might recognize that. Beit Shin is Beit Shammai Omrim. Yom Rishon, Beit Shammai says on the first day, the first night of Chanukah, Madlik Shmona, you light 8 candles. Mikan vehelech, from then on, Pochet veholech, you continually decrease. Which means on the first night of Chanukah, according to Beit Shammai, you light 8 candles. And the second night you're going to light less, which means 7 candles. And then 6, and so on until you end up with 1 candle the last night of Chanukah. That's Beit Shammai's opinion. Ubeit Hillel Omrim, but Beit Hillel says, Yom Rishon, the first night of Chanukah, Madlik Achad, you light 1 candle. Mikan vehelech, from here on, Mosif veholech, you continue to add. The first night you light 1, the second night you light 2, and so on and so forth. So this sounds more familiar to what we do. Now, in your sheet, I ask you to put the stops. I trust that you did a decent job. And Amar Ula, it's a stop because that's a different speaker. You might not recognize the word Ula, but you recognize Amar, somebody else is speaking. And it's interesting, it's a good skill to know. Amar Ula Pligi Batre Amorai, this is Aramaic. So this is not part of the Braita anymore, right? Because the telltale sign is that this is Hebrew, even though you don't know all the words, but this is Hebrew. And Amar Ula Pligi Batre Amorai Bemarava, this is all Aramaic, that's the Gemara speaking. Okay? So this is basically the Braita. The Braita told us that there's going to be 3 different levels of doing the mitzvah. Let's take a look at your sheets. Okay, Tanu Rabbanan, rabbis teach us, Mitzvat Chanuka ner ishu beito. The mitzvah of Chanuka is to light 1 candle for the entire family. Vehamehadrin ner lekol echad v'echad. And those who want to beautify the mitzvah, those who want to enhance the mitzvah, ner lekol echad v'echad. They light 1 candle for each person. Like we mentioned before, if there's 4, you light 4 candles every night. The next level, vehamehadrin mina mehadrin, which means if you want to go even higher, you want to do like the best of the best, right? Beit Shammai ombrim. Beit Shammai says, Yom Rishon Madlik Shmona. The first day you light 8 candles. Mikan vehelech poched veolech. From then on, you decrease. So the first night is 8, and then you 7, 6, and so on. Ubeit Hillel ombrim, but Beit Hillel says, Yom Rishon Madlik Achat. The first night you should light 1 candle. Mikan vehelech mosiv veholech. From then on, you increase the candles. So points for discussion would be as follows. Think about the following. Why is that the mitzvah of Chanukah can be fulfilled only in the house? Because clearly the Braita told us is ner ish ubeito. The mitzvah is to light 1 candle in the bait, in the home, which means that if I'm traveling at night, so if I'm at a hotel, that's like my bait, I'm sleeping there, right? So I would light in the hotel. But let's say I am in a plane, or I'm in a, I'm just walking through the night. I don't light candles. Or God forbid, a homeless person, they don't have an obligation to light near Chanukah because they don't have a bait. So the question is, why is the mitzvah of Chanukah dependent on the bait? Why is it connected to the home? By the way, you might be familiar with the fact that we also light in the Beit HaKnesset. But even the person who lights in Beit HaKnesset, he has to go home and light at home because he doesn't fulfill the mitzvah by lighting the Beit HaKnesset. We light in the Beit HaKnesset because that's a way to publicize the mitzvah, to show the mitzvah to all the congregants. But whoever lights it has to still go home and light at home because the place of the mitzvah is at home. And home is the place where you sleep. So if, let's say, you're vacationing somewhere during Chanukah, so that's your home, even though you don't own it, but you're sleeping there. So the question is, why is the mitzvah of Chanukah instituted in such a way that it must be to the home? It's connected to the home. That's a question to think, and we'll discuss that. The next interesting issue to discuss is the following. There is a mitzvah throughout the Torah of Hidur mitzvahs, one of the mitzvot, meaning we can do a mitzvah in the minimal way, means we're Yotze, we'll fulfill the obligation. And then there's a way to enhance the mitzvah, to do Hidur mitzvah. That's always the case. What's unique about Chanukah is that there's 3 levels. If you saw in the Braita, we had mitzvah near Chanukah, this is the obligation, 1 candle. Then we had mehadrin, to beautify, that's like step 2, right? And that is candles according to the number of people. But then we had a 3rd level, mehadrin mina mehadrin, those who beautify above those who beautify, meaning the best of the best. And that's where we have the discussion. Do you decrease the candles? Do you increase the candles? But the point is that you find that there's 3 levels of doing the mitzvah of Chanukah. There's level 1, the minimum. Then there's a second higher level. And then there's a 3rd level. We never have that. There's no other mitzvah we have mehadrin mina mehadrin. We always have a mitzvah and the possibility of improving, of beautifying the mitzvah, doing a step up. But we don't have a step up above that 2nd step. So why is Chanukah like that we have this step up? Okay, so there's a question to think about, and we'll be discussing those when we get together.